right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachapadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect, Shalom Barakatham. And the elites are making big moves. Okay, the number one, and the number two things that is going on, if you're paying attention, is the World Economic Forum has a new co-chair by the name of Larry Fink. Okay, if you recognize that name, he's currently the CEO of BlackRock, which controls one of the largest sets of assets in the world. I believe BlackRock, I have to look it up, but it's got to be over $10 trillion in assets that BlackRock either controls directly or they own a portion of. Okay, and so he's now the new co-chairman of the World Economic Forum. Okay, and on the same time as that, you have Bill Gates, okay, announcing that he's getting ready to come up with a technology that will make smartphones obsolete. Roll these windows up, Salakia. That is going to make smartphones obsolete. Now, where do you think all of this is going? Okay, why is the World Economic Forum appointing new leadership and shoring things up with people that control all of these assets? Okay, and BlackRock, by the way, they have single-handedly controlled the entire market. They control all of the real estate. They're the reason why the real estate prices are what they are. They can buy up entire neighborhoods, and they won't even be a blip on their balance sheet. Okay, and they can they also were responsible for ESG, the ESG scores, which led to DEI. But ESG is more on the corporate side, which stands for I believe environmental, social something. But it's what they incentivize all of those companies. Remember when all of the video games and Disney movies and all of these things kind of got woke, quote unquote, and they started adding all of this? They forced it in there, like in every episode, every movie, every this. That's because of BlackRock. BlackRock gave all of those companies money to push a particular narrative, and for basically the last 5 to 8 years, okay, especially going like right before 2020, that's all you've seen is woke and forcing women into comic book movies and the video games, into doing the female version and spin off of this, adding a gay version of this or that. You know, that all came from BlackRock money, and they sent it to all of the companies. That's why all of the food brands, you know, Oreo, Nabisco, what's the other big ones? They all participated in June in the month of the rainbow. Why did they do that? Why did they all do it at the same time? Because that money came out of these big funds like BlackRock and Vanguard. Okay, that's to give you an idea how much power these people have. Okay, and now the CEO of that, all right, he's excuse me, he's about to be the co-chair of the World Economic Forum. Okay, so just know where you got to piece all of these things together. Like where's all of this going? Well, it's going to Revelation 13 and 16, just like we always tell you. Okay, when Bill Gates says he's going to announce the newest smartphone replacement, which is going to be a wearable tattoo, all right, that should tell you everything you need to know, because they're all in on it, man. Do you know how the H, the W to the H to the O, how they've been getting their money and funding is through Bill Gates charity foundations? Okay, so why are these things happening at the same time, where they're obfuscating on the Epstein thing and trying to make sure that never sees the light of day, which it won't. Somebody's going to have to break ranks and leak it, okay, or there's somebody's going to have to betray them, but they're not going to just willingly give it to you, because they know what that means. Why are all of these things happening at once? Because as the scriptures say, at the end it shall speak and not lie. And we've been telling you these things while everybody else has been trying to win debates on podcasts and get viewership, okay? But they're not watching for their own soul or the soul of their congregation, man. Now, many of them told you back in 2020 to engage with Esau's medical system, okay? You know what I'm talking about, 2021, all right, when that was going around, all right? They told you to do that, okay? All for you to All for you to what? Watch all of them Edomites fight about it. Hey, I got injured. Hey, that's messed me up. I'm gonna sue you. Now they all suing each other. See, these other camps, they don't have the eye salve, man. They don't. Okay, and some of them have the ability to have it, but they just rather chase and feed their own belly. Okay, and the Lord got an issue with you on that, man. Okay, because you're supposed to be waking people up as to what's going on. It shouldn't be more heathen bringing out edifying information than the Hebrew Israelites. You know, some of you camps out there, man. Okay, we've been telling you this for years and years and years and years and years, man. Okay, from the apostles and the elders on down, this truth is being pushed fervently and diligently, man. Okay, you cannot say otherwise. Okay, so when the rest of the people start to see that the writings on the wall, that this is obviously the case, you're gonna have a lot of questions. So, you know, Akim out there that are in the faith, man, get ready for people to have questions and want to be finding out what you know. Okay, they want a piece of your wisdom. Okay, and the Spirit of the Lord is gonna have to be with you to know if they're right or not, because we're gonna have to separate from these people pretty soon. Okay, we're really just one event away from this thing never being the same ever again. See, people thought after 2020 that things would just go back to normal forever. That was just a bump in the road. No. That was just a test. Okay, and they've been, I guarantee you, they have been planning their next move, because if the first one worked, why wouldn't they do it again? Okay, this time it's going to be bigger. This time they're going to require more. Okay, real IDs, who's who on the internet, anonymity being gone. All right, integrating everything. They don't want smartphones to be carried in your hand. They want something inside of you. Okay, and Bill Gates is the #1 candidate for it, because his company Microsoft, it's overtaken Apple, man. Apple is on the downside now. Okay, they're still worth a lot of money. Okay, but Apple is on the downside because they missed AI. They didn't develop an AI, and they don't have any new products. Okay, they don't have anything worth selling. They're not able to upgrade their phones anymore. Okay, so what's going to be the next thing? Okay, I can very well see it being Microsoft rolling out their new technology, man. Okay, so keep all of these things in mind while everything is being all integrated. You know, they're building all of these data centers and everything's on these clouds. Okay, and everything's being calculated and crunched off site. You know, like we use something at work called, or I do at least, something called Snowflake, and it's basically just data processing, and it's all remote on a cloud server somewhere, man, and it's fast as hell. Okay, all right. So keep in mind, this thing has been going this direction for a long time, but only a few people, only a small group of individuals, you know, the elect, the men that are faithful, the prophets, have been paying attention to these things. See, we noticed when everything started going into home delivery and DoorDash and you got to go from the credit card to the chip in the credit card now. Okay, see, we noticed all of those things. Okay, we noticed that at the work from home, the psychology behind all of that. Okay, we've noticed it. We've noticed most of the work going into white collar jobs and office work. All right, only for that to be replaced in the next, basically, in less than a year, a staggering amount of jobs are going to be lost because of AI. Okay, and that's if we even make it that long. Okay, so we've been watching and warning these things. So, you know, again, the scriptures say the day is not going to be as a thief in the night to the ones that are awake. Okay, so keep your eye on this thing, man, and just know the Lord is getting ready to make a move swiftly, because I've been noticing a lot of crazy judgments have been happening too, or at least they've been being brought to our attention, because the Lord is just sick of niggas, man. Okay, he's sick. He is sick of this, man. Okay, and we are too. So we only got a few moments, I should say, left until the doomsday clock hits midnight. You know, which we know what that means. We're out of here, man. So anyway, I'm gonna Lord willing, I'm gonna do a little bit more deep dive into it. onto the whole Bill Gates thing, and we know it's gonna be more news on that, okay? Because that's gonna be all over the world, okay? You know, you see China doing their thing too, all right? And just like the scriptures say, it will be a global thing. The whole world is going to be presented with that charagma, okay? And the vast majority of them are going to take it, okay? So I'll end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakadash Shalom.